So stop wasting your time to become injury prone. Hi guys, Mr.Physio here in Australia. Today, I'm going to tell you how static hamstring stretch can make you injury prone and show you better alternatives instead.
Let's get it.
Let's have a look at this. This systematic review analyzed 125 studies that examined the effect of stretch and found there was an actual decrease in sports performance, power, speed, and strength straight after static stretching. This performance change was small to moderate, but reduced to a lesser degree 10 minutes after stretching. They couldn't find a definite relationship between static stretching and risks of injuries. However, it is also fair to say you need to be careful in the first 10 minutes of whatever activities you do after static stretching, because your overall performance, including muscle power and speed, will decrease definitely for that first 10 minutes. Also mentioned was your muscles tend to get injured when they get stretched out too much. For example, when you're running, you hit the ground and your hamstring is getting shortened because your knee is bent like that, and from there you have to stretch out the hamstring, right? So that short moment you can have a great risk of injuries. So if you're not able to control that stretching force being applied to the muscle, your risk of injury will definitely increase. This finding supports my opinion too. The main reason why I don't recommend static stretching is the fact that you don't use your muscles and tendons in that stretching action. For example, if you're stretching your pec muscle, so my range is up to there, but you actually stretch out that muscle like that, for about 30 seconds. But in that 30 seconds, you're not really using that pec muscle and other muscles around the shoulder. Maybe during the game, let's say you get tackled by someone else, your arm gets pushed back like that. So in that action, your shoulder muscles and pecs have to prevent that injury, right? Prevent your arm being pulled out to the side by contracting. But all you've done is static stretching, so your muscles haven't been used in that new range, so it's not likely to prevent that injury. But in eccentric exercises, you've used that muscles while your muscle gets lengthened and the range of motion increases like that in that new range. So it's easier to activate those muscles in that similar environment because you've done that before. Have a look at this study then. This study was done on nearly 8,500 sports players across all different sports. Published this year in the top-ranking sports medicine journal, this strong evidence shows that Nordic hamstring curl has reduced hamstring injuries by 51% in active sports people. One single exercise has prevented half of hamstring injuries that could have happened. That's amazing, right? This exercise is performed with someone holding the performer's ankle from behind, and the performer slowly leans forward while trying to stay upright. Basically, this person tries to resist as much as he can, not to fall forward. In this action, hamstring muscles start from a shortened position and get lengthened while controlling the body weight leaning forward. This is a gold standard exercise for hamstrings, and this is exactly what I show you in my other videos. The eccentric exercises, where your muscle length elongates while the muscle tries to contract. On top of that, another strong evidence published in the same journal further suggests that eccentric training is effective to increase range of motion in a safe way. So, two best quality evidence tells us to do eccentric exercises that will both increase range of motion and prevent hamstring injuries. So let's do it. Before that, I will give you a simple technique to release some tension on your hamstrings with tennis ball. It's pretty simple. With the tennis ball underneath your hamstring, you press down with your hands and just rolling side to side like that. But you don't want to push into the bony area, so about 10 centimeters up and down in the middle of your thigh bone. You can also press down onto the muscle and just kick your leg up and down. And straighten your leg as much as you can when going down, and straighten and going down. So massage for about 30 seconds and this kind of kicking for about 30 seconds on different few spots. You need another person to do Nordic hamstring curl, so I'll show you a couple of exercises you can do by yourself. First one is my favorite exercise, bridge sliding. Lie on your back with your knees bent and lift your bottom up. From there, you slowly slide your heels out so you have your legs straight at the end. And bend your knees again and slowly slide out. When you do this exercise, you need to push through your heels. And most importantly, when you go up, you need to keep your hip up in the air as long as possible. Try not to lower your hip as you straighten your legs. So when you push through your heels and lift your bottom up, your hamstring is activated, which means it's shortened. And as you straighten your legs, the hamstring is controlling the movement while being lengthened. And that's really good eccentric hamstring exercise, and you can move on to single leg if you can do double leg. But the problem with this exercise is that it doesn't really take you into extreme range of hamstring. So I will show you something else. In this exercise, you stand next to a door frame, or you can use a Smith machine, and put your weight on the heel of the front leg that's close to the wall and the ball of the back leg. So in this case, I'm working on my left side. I slide my back foot backwards so that my left hamstring can be elongated while controlling that movement. And you can definitely feel it on the left hamstring, especially at the end of the movement. After that, you stand up using your hands, and then you slowly slide back again. So I keep my left toes up so that I can put more weight on my left heel. And at the end of the range, I try to straighten my left leg a bit more so that I can feel more stretch and activation on the hamstring. So you can do the same exercise in a deadlift position or single leg Romanian deadlifts. As long as you put more weight on your heels and try to straighten your legs, your hamstring is activated while being lengthened, which is eccentric control. So there you go. Increasing the range of motion without muscle control is not a good idea. So stop wasting your time to become injury prone. I will see you next time. 안전 좋아요.
스트레칭 아무 소용 없는 거 아시죠?